Ronan, up with the first question. How's it going?
How's it going? I'm good. Never been in this position before, so it's always nice when you win a few games at the start of the year and build some momentum. But no, I can't complain. I went back home for the bye last week. Got to see family and friends and got back to the farm, so feel refreshed and ready for a big back half.
Emily has asked, what is one piece of advice you would give yourself before your debut?
That is a great question. Playing, I'd say give the first option quickly. I got caught holding the ball in my first game, but no, I try and tell all the young boys just take the first option early because the pressure of the game's a lot quicker than VFL. Enjoy it, and then don't think you're a first gamer. Think like you've played a few games already, so a bit of the mindset stuff.
Rock Kernahan, your game is on another level this year. What's helped you achieve this?
I did a lot of work in the off season, but probably a lot of to do with how our midfield structuring up, and I feel like we're complementing each other a lot in there. It's been really good fun, and I think that's been probably the thing that's really stood out. Where I think a lot of us in there are having really good years. That are really supporting each other and we're having a lot of fun out there. So I'd put it down to that.
If you could bring back one retired player that you played with, who would it be?
If you talk about prime, Juddy's probably the best I played with. Got him at the back end of his career, but I love watching him play when I was a kid, so he'd be the one, I reckon.
Good tie-in. This one's from Brad. On your first lunch date with Chris Judd, who paid for the coffee?
Wouldn't have been me. No, I still remember catching up with Juddy. We used to catch up every month for a coffee off site. So, Juddy definitely looked after me early days, and I think I returned serve at the back end once I got a few matches.
Melissa, who gave you the best advice and what was it?
Got a lot of good advice from the guys that when I first started. There was a pretty mature team when I first started. Michael Jamison helped me a lot off-field stuff in terms of the media stuff, and just I suppose getting me used to the AFL world. Andrew Walker gave me a lot of good stuff about diet and how to train at the elite level. And obviously Juddy did a lot of work with me in my first couple of years just to really play to my strengths. And as my career went on, I did a lot of stuff with Murph through captaincy stuff and lent to him a fair bit. So they're sort of more the senior guys that when I first got to the club, my first couple of years, that really had a big impact on me, I think.
Kind of similar question to this one. Sabrina has asked, which teammate, past or present, has had the biggest impact in improving your game?
I can't name one. I'd probably say off-field, the person that helped me the most early days was definitely Michael Jamison. I wasn't great in the media front in my first couple of years. I got really nervous doing it. So he helped me out a lot in that sort of space. From a footy point of view, you're always picking people's brains. So like, you have obviously, from a midfield craft point of view, I learned a lot of stuff with Murph, Andy Carazzo when he was first here, Juddy, Bryce Gibbs, Simo. They're probably the guys I watched a lot of when I first got to the club, and you obviously play against them in pre-season and things like that, so you learn a few tricks. I'd probably say that those guys, you learn a lot in your first couple of years.
Tori has asked, what's your pre- and post-game routine?
Day of a game, depends if it's a night game or a day game. I usually try and go for a walk in the morning, get a coffee and take the dog to the park, and then I like to have a nap for a night game for about an hour, just to break the day up, and then after that I try and treat it like a day game after that. Get to the game at 2.5 hours before. I like getting to the ice bath before a game, just to wake me up, and then from there I've got a little set routine that I like to do, but it's not too strict where if I miss something I lose a plot. It's sort of nice little build up to the game, then try and get a lot of intensity in the last warm up.
Just how slippery is Zach Fisher?
Slippery fish, eh? I actually saw him downstairs, he wanted to mention, so he'll be happy with that. He's good. He's you got to have a trick up your sleeve, especially when your fish's size. He's not built massively, but he's slippery. He's got the quickest feet in the AFL, he reckons. highly debatable, but we'll back him in. He always likes to say slow feet don't eat, so he's slippery. To answer your question, he is.
This one's from Kayla. What is your most memorable crowd moment?
My round one this year for sure. That and was Newsy's goal. But that was away, but that was a special moment. But the round one this year in that last quarter, I reckon that's as loud as I've heard. I think it was just more the just to get over that hurdle of winning round one. The way we did it was, that was the moment where when I got off the field, it was sort of a bit like a blur. It's something that's pretty special.
Nat, would you consider coaching after playing?
I've definitely I've thought about it before. At this stage, I would say I wouldn't right now, but I'll do things in sort of the back end of my career to set me up to coach if I wanted to. But I really enjoyed the mindset side of things and sort of tapping into how to get the best out of people and people around you. So I say that now, but I know you talk to a lot of coaches and they say when they leave playing, they still got that competitive drive, but they feel like they only get that on game day. So we'll have to wait and see with that.
Genevieve has asked, what are the differences of being a solo captain?
Not a lot, to be honest. Self and Doc previously worked really close together. We still talk all the time now about the stuff, and got a great leadership group around us, and everyone focuses solely on the captain, but it takes a lot of sort of leaders in the club to make an impact. And from last year to this year, it sort of flowed through, and we have a lot of guys really standing up and leading the way for the footy club.
This one's from Polo. He's asked, what's the best advice that you can give to my son Julio, who's a 14-year-old up-and-coming footy player?
I've been asked this question a bit lately. I think the best thing for young kids is play as many sports as you can. Don't just go solely onto one sport too young. Make sure you have fun doing it, and make sure the parents don't put too much pressure on your kid.
This one's from Gaz. Cripper, love ya. What was the reason behind changing from number 16 to number 9?
That's a good question. I was a mad Ben Cousins fan growing up, so I played 3 games in my first year, had a win, lost and a draw, so that's a bit of trivia. And then Kane Lucas left and that number 9 came up, so I remember hitting up Andy McKay straight away. I was like, mate, it's my favourite number, I've always been number 9, can I jump into it? So Jackie Carroll's at number now, so I always told him I played in that before and he didn't believe me. So it was obviously Jimmy Buckley was a club legend, 16. I still saw Jimmy the other day, but number 9 was always my favourite, so I asked to get into that.
This is a bit of a deeper question, and it's from someone whose username is Lord Kerner Sandwich. Where would Patrick Cripps be if he wasn't playing football?
So that's changed every year, I reckon. I think early days I would have been probably back on the farm by now, but that's not going to happen now. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I definitely would probably be in Perth. What I'd be doing, I've got a really big interest in sort of like the high performance sort of psychology space now. So I reckon I'd be doing something in that. But like I said, I don't really know where that's going to take me. So hopefully another 8 to 10 years, mate, we can dive into that.
This one's from Chris. You're playing forward and you have one teammate to lace out a kick to you. Who is it?
That is a good question. I'd probably say Ches. Yeah, I reckon Ches is pretty... Charlie's probably the man to ask, Charlie and H, but Ches has been lacing guys out this year, so he's been kicking well. Sardi, actually. Yeah, I reckon Sardi's probably got the best kick in the team.
Josh, how has Bossy impacted the way that you play football?
He's impacted probably the whole group in terms of what he's brought. He's sort of, obviously you watch his highlights, he's a fierce competitor and relentless in the way he goes about it. So he's sort of developed a culture that's really hard edge, and we just got to have a crack. And he's been really good for me, not only from the footy space but the leadership space as well. And he's done a great job with the whole place and built the confidence of players and the group. And you can sort of see that out in the way everyone's playing at the moment.
This one's from Heath. How did you cope with the dark times at the club, and how did you stay positive?
That's a great question. It was a long 8 years. It's good. I'm big on optimism and hope, and it's something I'm really passionate about now, because I've sort of seen how to get through sort of tough times. It is hard. Like sometimes it was hard, but you get the good group of people, and you keep trying to build the right habits, the right culture, and you always got to have a lens of optimism, hope of where you want to go, because if you don't, then I read a quote, it's like, once the leaders think it's lost, then it's lost, you know what I mean? Something like that anyway. Probably doesn't make sense, but the leaders are so important in terms of bringing optimism and hope around the place, and have a positive sort of outlook. So that's something I've always tried to bring, and I know the leaders around as well have tried to bring, and it was a grind, but we're starting to see the benefit of that now, and like I said before, a lot of guys are starting to play a lot of confidence and a lot of belief in not only themselves but the team. So that's the exciting part, because we're still really young in terms of games played, our team, so we're starting to get some games and continuity together, so that's the exciting part.
I reckon I know what you're going to answer to Jem's question here, but what's the best moment in a game so far this year?
Well, it would have been round one. Best moment. Just trying to think. I'm going over the games here. Oh yeah, No, that was that was when I watched that back. It actually, you nearly get emotional watching Doc's moment. There was that one, and there was one, I reckon he got a free kick or a mark in the last quarter when we'd won, when we'd kicked like 7 goals in a row, and it was on the half-back flank, and I reckon Doc held the ball for an extra few seconds just to soak it up. But the whole far side wing got up and had a round of applause for him. That was pretty cool. But his year's been unbelievable, to be honest. It's you see photos of him in December, and then you see the way he's playing now. It's pretty special. But it doesn't surprise me. The way his mind thinks and how determined he is. He's nothing surprised me, to be honest.
This one's from Josh. There's a lot of external noise coming your way last year around, I guess, the speed of the game. Did you use those comments as motivations, or did you just stick to your personal goals and ignore that external talk? Yeah,
that's the. I probably had a good lesson last year in terms of probably the first sort of 6 years of my career. I got probably pumped up a lot in the media, then had a 2-year period where I probably got a lot of negative stuff, and I look back on that. It's probably I probably grew a lot from that as a person. Probably have a very different perspective on it all now, and you hear it, but you got to try to block it out and focus on what's important and that internal drivers, and get back to the process. And that's why I went back in the off season and worked really hard on my body and sort of mindset, and came out really refreshed and really determined. But it wasn't to sort of prove them wrong. It was more just to, I suppose, back yourself in and prove yourself right, that the game's not past you and things like that. But this year I've sort of gone down a different sort of lens, and you sort of see all the media thing, and it's funny, you get pumped up again, and you just sort of ignore it, to be honest. It's sort of it doesn't really impact the way you sort of think and the way you play. You just focus on what's important and what's important to the team and what sort of drives you internally, and you keep focusing on that. And I look back now, and I'm so glad that happened. People would probably laugh when they hear that, but definitely makes you grow, and it makes you sort of see what's important, have perspective, and what the media's there for. And you got to see that they're paid to have an opinion, whether it's good or bad, and it's up to your mindset if you want to buy into it or not.
This one's from M. You've been on fire in front of goals this year. Has this been down to a change in mentality or coaching advice, or a change in routine? We've all noticed the step.
Yeah, it's probably been 2 years of work, to be honest. I wasn't one of my strengths for a long time, and I just see games as a good feedback sort of mechanism where it teaches you what you need to improve on. So did a lot of work behind the scenes in the off seasons, just in terms of mindset as well as my routine, and getting some good reward for effort now, and it's always nice when you see them go through.
MC9, this question probably got asked the most, I will say. What's the inspiration behind the shaved head?
I did it for Doc early days, but I don't know, it's easy. I got a set of clippers at home, and I just like to sit down in front of the mirror and just do a quick sort of 1 or 2 just to get the hair off. But I don't know, I've sort of just ran with it this year. I don't mind it. It's just it's just easy and efficient, so we'll keep going with it.
This one's from Christian, not me. Can you come to my 21st?
There's beers there, mate. I'm a big chance. Yeah.
It is in the off season, so it's fine. Now we're going to the rapid fire questions.
Right.
Just first instinct. Olivia asks favourite food.
I'll say risotto, or pizza. One or two.
What's your favourite pizza? From Laura.
I like meat lovers. Yeah, with the barbecue sauce.
Mark, does pineapple belong on pizza?
I like pineapple on pizza.
Little Max, what's your favourite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, I wouldn't know, mate. I'm not good with music. That's one thing I'm not good with.
Well, Amy's asked what's your favourite pre-game song. Do you have one?
I don't. Johnny plays a fair few tunes in the chain rooms. What's it called? I like this song. Is it "Run This Town"? Who sings that? Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, that sort of gets me going a bit. But no, I don't really listen to much music pre-game.
Kind of related. Will Crip Talk return?
Well, I actually had a mate send me a video last night of me doing that dance, and he was just cracking up laughing. If you ask mine, she wants to do one every day, but I think I might keep the hips for post footy. I reckon.
Daniel, rate Warper's celebrations out of 10.
They're 10. They're good. He gave the old, what did he do? This one, is it that one to the crowd? Yeah, that was for his brother. He loves watching sort of highlights of sort of sporting events, and then he knows if he kicks a goal, it's sort of loaded in his mind. So everyone loves the way he sort of plays with passion. So it's always good when he kicks a goal.
Riley has asked, how do you like your steak cooked?
Medium well. Yeah.
Medium well.
Yeah.
Eddie has asked, best playing member to share a room with on the road.
We don't share rooms anymore, so if someone snores, mate, they're straight out. I've stayed at boarding school for 5 years, mate. I've had enough of sharing rooms.
Can you tell us who the worst might have been when you were boarding with someone?
It'd be when I boarded with someone. No, it's just the ones that snore. I reckon Charlie Kerno would be a pest to room with. Yeah.
Marco, this might be a loaded question. Where do you like to carb load before a game?
Marco's the man down at Zanini's. I know a lot of the boys go down there, so we enjoy going down there. They're great people, and they always look after us. And
just finally, this one's from Finn. Fairly simple question. Will ball magnets make me good?
Bloody oath, mates. Get in there. No, it's an app that's sort of trying to help as many young sort of girls and boys develop their skills. So I think the concept of it is great, and Toby Mitchell's sort of the main driver, and I've had a few kids come up to me in the streets and said they're using it. So that's what it's all about.
Thanks, Ripper.
All good. Thank you.